السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا اغفر لي ولوالدي وللمؤمنين يوم يقوم الحساب برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. وصلى اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وأتباعه وسلم. والحمد لله رب العالمين. Now we are already late, so we have to jump into the verse we are going to study. We have been studying the Layl, Surah Layl, and ayat number 8. I think we left off there as far as I know, because I hesitated this morning as all of a sudden. We were going to supposed to study this last week, but the class was cancelled. Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. The verse says, وَأَمَّا مَنْ بَخِلَ وَاسْتَغْنَى. It's a very subtle verse. Quite subtle. To understand is not easy. If we don't understand it in terms of money only, but as for him who is niggardly means doesn't give money, and thinks that he is self-sufficient. Is it anything to do with each other, being niggardly and self-sufficient? Or looks like it's not. Looks like it is not. What I mean by it, if someone is niggardly, it means, I need it, I'm not self-sufficient. But the verse says, goes along with it. Do you see the apparent contradiction, not congruence, not incongruous? Yeah, apparent. But we say apparent, but we will discuss about it. What do you say? Because if someone is niggardly, we have to understand that niggardly means what? It is the last thing to think about, being niggardly, not giving money to those people who need it, or sharing anything with others. It is the last thing. Yes, it is included, but not the essential part. Essential part is niggardly means this is mine, and I earned it. This is my property. This is my knowledge. This is my whatever virtue, whatever. And why should I give it to you? Who are you? Why should I give it to you? It's mine. Being underneath of being niggardly lies what? Self-claimed ownership. This is mine. If someone says it is given to me, he has to ask. Any passive voice phrase in English, and also in other languages as well, implies that it is done by somebody else, something else, not by me. Yeah. If we say this is made, it means it didn't make itself or himself, somebody else did it. If I say it is mine, it means it is not given to me. If I say it is given to me, it belongs to somebody else has given it to me. Clear? So under the niggardliness lies the idea of claim or ownership, claiming the ownership. It means this belongs to me. Now, yeah, okay, thank you. So this belongs to me. It is self-centeredness. It is a false claim. If you think about it, because everything originates from or by something else, not by me. I am the one who is using it. it is, we are not going to discuss whether this argument is correct or not, or confirmable or not, but we assume that at this stage, at the stage of this argument, everything is created. So we have to realize that nothing belongs to me, all are given to me, whatever I have. So niggardliness implies that I am the source of. Okay. Vastaghna, if someone says, I am the source of something, it means I am self-sufficient, I am producing my own things, I need no one and nothing else. Do you see the relationship? No, not. Okay.
So I'm still struggling with how being niggardly, like you can come to the conclusion that the source behind that, or I guess the reason behind that, is self-ownership or of the thing, because
or self-sufficientness.
Right, self-sufficientness. Because if I try to internalize it, personally for me, I would say it's the opposite. It's the fact that I'm not self-sufficient. I'm dependent on something. Hence, if something is given to me, because I'm so desperately in need of that something, that when it comes to the matters of, let's say, giving it away, I am more, I guess, misered. I'm more less inclined to just give it away easily, and it's the last thing I want to do is to hand up.
Sports. Any passive voice implies what? You said it in your sentence. What? Passive voice implies that the actor is not you. Right. It means you are given.
Right.
If you are given, you have to question the source of the belongings. Who gave it? What gave it? Don't think about it now. What will you say?
I would say that the source that's giving it to me, after reasoning and reflecting, coming to the conclusion that it's infinite. However, that source is infinite. What I have in my court, I guess it's a figure of speech, what I have with me now, is what I guess my current reality is. Like, if I was to give an analogy, I just ran a marathon. I'm super thirsty, and I find myself with a glass of water. I find myself with a glass of water. I know I did not pour it, and there are other people that, let's say, will pour that glass of water for me. I cannot just assume that I will get another glass of water when I have a glass of water now.
But you said something. The source is infinite. It is valid in terms of a child, because they don't really think the source. They say, it's good, it is mine. As soon as they are given something, what do they say? It's mine. And they don't want to share it with others. It is childish. But if you think that the source is absolute, what would you do? Why the absolute source has given it to me? Because I need of it. And if someone is need of it, we have to understand this. Although we are in different individual creatures. Now, don't think that I'm going to say something unexpected or very mysterious. But we have to understand that, yes, I am different from you, you are different from me, etc. Right? But this is bodily difference, material difference. No, if you say your body, if I say your body is different from my body, yes. But if I refer my existence to an absolute source, if you refer your existence to an absolute source, what is the result? Everything comes from the source and there is no difference. For example, You are hurrying, but I don't understand. Please understand the text first and the methodology first and where we are going, and there is no problem. So you want to say something, but I don't know why.
So he told me something.
Sorry?
I don't understand. He can talk, but I can't talk.
No, but we are talking about it, but you just want to say something, but do you know what we are doing here? Sorry?
Not exactly.
Why do you want to say something?
I just want to ask you about, doesn't our actions result in the outcomes, like our behaviors as human beings? Doesn't that result in the outcomes of what we have?
But we are trying to define ourselves, who we are, what is our reality, or something. That's what you have to get used to. I think you are new. Is it the second time or third time?
First time.
Sorry?
First
time, you don't know what you are doing. So be patient. I understand. Be patient. I'm not saying you don't know anything, but be patient. But you understand what we are doing here.
Yeah.
Now do you know what we are doing? I don't think so. So, excuse me, just a minute. Let's go ahead. What we're doing. Look, if the source is eternal, so we unite in eternity, like very simple example, the sun. No, sun is emitting its light, right? You get your light, reflects in your mirror. I get my light, it reflects in my mirror of existence, right? So your mirror is different from my mirror. But if I say the light which reflects in my mirror is nothing different from the light reflects in his mirror. So if I need the light and the sun is giving me the light, so the same source knows that he is a mirror, he needs that as well. So I have to trust. Do you understand the logic? So what the people say, not everybody, but certain people say, we are multitudes in our material existence. We are one in our spiritual existence. But our spirit belongs to one sun, right? And this sun emits light to everywhere at the same time. Present everywhere. He is present in your being. At the same time, he's present in my being. So I should not separate myself from you. It means my existence from you, my need from you. For example, that's why I said the giving away, when we think of the giving away, the first thing comes to our mind, what? Giving money, the property or food, sharing. No. Your ability, your capacity to understand, evaluate your feelings, sharing your feelings, especially if you have thought about something, sharing it with others. Why? These are the real human relationship. Other relationship with each other, as far as our material needs are concerned, as if we are the farmers and dealing with other animals. You see the difference? Because what do you do? You take care of the bodily needs of the animals, right? But nowadays people are developing some sort of sense that the animals also need some sort of sympathy. Sure. They understand, but mainly, if you think of my bodily need only, you are treating me as an animal. Now, that is why the Quran is not the source of information or guidance, but teaching people to make the distinction between right and wrong, what is right, that's wrong, how to behave, how to understand, how to interpret the things, etc. This is the guidance. So the guidance comes and speaks to my, not animal side. Animal side doesn't need guidance because it is automatic in my own existence. What is that? If you are hungry, do you need your gut to remind you that hey, you have to eat? So you have to eat. Do you need it? The animals, do they need revelation? That they should do their material work or whatever needs, do they? No. So they don't need guidance. It is intrinsic in their own existence what they need. It's included. My body also has intrinsically inside my being, all the needs are automatically reflecting themselves. They're trying to satisfy these needs. So when I say, if I am breathless, like this, do I need God to tell me that we have I have to inhale breath, and I have to breathe in? Do I have the need? No. But what do I need? If God says, as for him who is niggardly, this means his niggardliness is something to do with him, with his human side, not animal side. We have to interpret the Quran accordingly. We do this, for example, when we talk about taking care of the orphans. What we say? Orphans, the word orphans doesn't mean that the one who doesn't have father and mother, the one whose humanity is not under protection. So he doesn't have father and mother to take care of his human development, human needs. That is Quranic perspective, but unfortunately we turn it into what? Material. So when the Quran says mal, it means property. Material means, if you look at the dictionary, it says mal is property, wealth. Yeah? But the Quran doesn't talk about wealth. Quran talks about the wealth of human values. But as we are human beings, 99% of our existence is concerned with our human side. Only 1% is concerned with our animal side. So it is the last step we will think about, you need food, and I'll give you food. And you have to say what? Look, give me the food, but don't treat me as an animal, okay? You are not feeding an animal. This is just the thing that we need temporarily today. That's it. But if you give it in your own name, saying that this is my property, I am sharing it with you, don't give it to me. Do you understand? Because animals, do they say animals, for example, they say, look, you are my horse, right? You have to carry me, but in order to carry me, you need some I don't know, straw and I don't know, wheat, whatever, barley. Sorry, hay and barley, you understand? So I am giving you hay and barley in order to carry me. Otherwise you will die and I will be deprived of you. It's very simple, isn't it? Right? So we feed animals. We say that I am feeding you. You can tell me. But if you feed somebody and say that I am feeding you, it means he's treating you as an animal. And it cannot be the object of the Quranic teaching. God's revelation. We have to be very careful. We are used to, or what I'm saying is a little bit contrary to what is known, or what is commonly known. Unfortunately, the human body is taking care of much more, 99% more than human spirit is taken care of. It's very interesting. You wanted to say something as well, but we have been coming
you
to...
said it like the comparison that I wanted to make was about the kids who, it's mine. While the parents gave it to the kid, but he's not going to share it with his sister or
So that is child's attitude. Forget about it. But what we understand, the relationship, connection, inner connection between being niggardly and self-sufficientness. Why do we claim the self-sufficientness? And if we are okay at this point, until this point, this relationship, we will go into another aspect of the matter. And do we have any other question, that unknown matter, unknown, that you didn't understand? Unknown, you didn't understand. Doesn't make sense. Because it shouldn't make sense what I said at the beginning, because it contradicts to your common knowledge. But we don't do that here. You may do it in another place, not here in this class. We want to go the deep down, the real reason. Yeah? Okay, the unknown question. Yeah.
So when we say things belong to us, does that mean physical level?
But at the physical level, Quran doesn't talk about the physical level. No, it doesn't talk. It's 1% of it, we are not concerned with it. Sorry?
Isn't it understood lenses? Literal lens, the scientific lens?
No, this is literal lens. This is literal lens. That's why I guessed. I'm not an, I don't know, magician or something, but I guessed that one has to understand the methodology. This is the literal meaning of the Quran. It says, don't be niggardly. That's what is it? Literal. Man bakhila. As for him who is niggardly, it is literal. It is not illiteral or something else interpretation. It is literal. But we have to read the Quran within the purpose of the Quran, not within the purpose of the secular understanding of the word. The Quran is the speech of God to make the distinction between right and wrong as far as the human capacity is concerned with his own existence. Why do I exist? What am I expected to do in this world? Why all these human qualities are given to me? For what? Quran says, I'm going to tell you now. Now, as far as the bodily relationship is concerned, go to any atheist, any secular school, they will tell you the same thing. Go and feed the poor. They don't need wahi. They don't need revelation. For example, if you see somebody who is desperately in need of it here, do you need anybody to encourage you? Go and help him. You automatically go. You don't need extra guidance and encouragement. Look, we have to understand that this is a very different class. We have to be patient with it. It is a very different class. We are not following general public knowledge. We are going into the deep meaning of the Quran, which is literal. We don't interpret the things according to their opposite their literal meaning. No, it is clear. Here it is for him who is niggardly, but it is our mindset that niggardly means doesn't give money. Here is in New York. In New York, how many Masonry, Freemasonry organizations are organizing shelters, providing hospitals, taking care of the homeless, distributing money, billions of money, more than the believers they spent. Do they receive this message from the Quran? No, what is going on there? What is going on? What is the difference between an atheist and me as the student of the Quran? No, we have to be careful. We shouldn't be carried away with the winds. This is spread in the community. Everybody talks like this, and it is a pity. We have to understand each sentence and each word of the Quran within the context of the whole Quran, according to the purpose of the Quran. Write it down, think about it for 1 week, and then come. Yeah.
So to detach ourselves from the winds of the community,
Yeah.
it seems important to use language that's very precise. You make this point every week.
Yeah.
Should we be using words like atheist and Muslim, or are there other ways to start thinking about individuals based on the fact that we're all creators reflecting and pointing to our creator?
These are the common language, just to make the case clear. Yeah, because people don't understand. When they hear something strange, which they are not accustomed to in their culture, not religion. Talk about religion is a big business. Culture. So in order to let them understand what you mean by it, you have to use the temporary language of culture. But I keep saying that you cannot understand the Quran according to the definition of the dictionary. But Quran's language is unique to its own purpose. It's a big business. It's a very serious matter. That's what you want to say.
I'm still, so the analogy that you used for the sun reflecting into different mirrors helped me understand that the source is essentially the same, and allows me to, I guess, realize and acknowledge that I am not self-sufficient. But with the same realization, because at an existential level, I'm thinking about myself as a creation and perhaps any other form of creation as well. And if I'm concluding that we all have the same source, then in that relationship, it pretty much eradicates the need, or perhaps the behavioral aspect of being niggardly to begin with. However, I guess I'm struggling to find a practical use case scenario. Like I'm trying to put this into an example where we're not talking about material, physical form of existences, but how am I, as a human being with this realization in mind, supposed to not act, but stay in the state of consciousness? Like, what am I, apart from realizing that I'm not self-sufficient, what am I doing?
You have to, well, it is another subject,
right.
Extension of the subject.
Right.
So we have to understand that our duty is in this world to question our own existence. What is that? Why am I here? But very essential question. Every morning when you wake up, why am I here now today? Yeah, when you are eating, why am I eating? When you are breathing, why am I breathing? Why? Why am I put in this position? You understand that you are not as a human being, not as a body. You and I understand that something else has put me in this position in order to understand what my origin of existence is. And why do you think he gave me existence? Because I don't exist by myself. It's obvious. Why do you think he gave me existence? What is he? Why is he creating this moment, for example? Yeah? Why am I in this position now? What am I expected really to do? When you start questioning it, origin of existence, you start considering that you have to use all your human qualities in order to acknowledge the origin of existence, get familiar with it. Right? In the language of the Quran, it is very clear. Then I created you to worship me alone. It means do not attribute anything which is given to you to anything else, but it is created. Its origin. It's very simple. So use it not as yours, but his. But when you use somebody else's property, what do? You take care of his will. Why did he give it to you? You have to ask this question. Why did he give it to me? Why? So you have to say, what am I going to do with it? For example, I am afraid, I'm frightened, I'm worrying, I'm excited, I'm happy. Why are they giving it to you? What are you going to do with it? To be happy? Or to get always excited, or to get annoyed, or whatever? Is it the purpose of your existence? Because you are, let's say you have some worries. For example, you have some worries about your future. Tomorrow what will happen? Or whether I graduate and I will get a job or not. You are worrying. Why do you think this sense is given to you? Just to worry about your job, for example. Or I don't know what you want to have. But everybody has many, infinitely different things in their minds. So why do you have this? Just in order to wait and get it, or not get it and die. Can it be the purpose of your existence? Can it be the purpose of the existence of your sense of worry? Is it worth it? And then if you are going to die at the end, why do you bother to worry anyways? These are all the means of acknowledging who the giver of this sense of worry is or can be. And what am I going to do with it? To use my first, createdness. The second, neediness, helplessness, being completely, what is the word? Impotent. Wow, look, if it is for me, I cannot do anything. If it is from your own, you cannot move in one finger for a moment. Can you? Can you yourself? So what does it mean? I'm absolutely impotent, but all are given to me. Why? Now, the one who created me enabled me to use my fingers for what? To type or to take the things, to hold and to, I don't know, use tools, etc. What are you going to do with it? And then you will die. As far as if you think that I consist of only my body, and your body is going to rot. Why do you bother, man? Either today or tomorrow, you are going to get into earth and rot away. Why do you bother? At the end, you will disappear, body-wise. But human beings, although without realizing, we concentrate on our body much more than everything else. But in fact, body is just a vehicle. Just a vehicle for us. But in fact, through the bodily experiences, what we do, through the bodily experiences, we realize who we are as human beings. Especially we realize that we are impotent. We realize that we are absolutely needy. We realize that everything is given to us. In order to, if you think of it, in order to accomplish the purpose of your whatever expectations in this world, don't worry about it. At the end, you will die, and the body will disappear. Don't worry about it. But if you want to go somewhere, okay, you use a car. Let's assume that you are driving, right? What do you do? Your purpose is what? To reach the destination. After you reach the destination, what do you do with the car? Can you take the car on your shoulder and get into the house where you are going to do? What you are going to say? Or leave the car behind and get yourself in. That is the purpose. The car is left behind. So in our existence also, we have to reach the destination. The question is, what is the destination? Where am I going? Not my body. My humanity, where is it going? My humanity has infinite capacity. Right? My humanity has infinite capacity. How can I use this infinite capacity to consume it, finish it in 60 years, 70 years time? Isn't that a shameful thing to do? But if you want to drive, if you want to reach the destination, what is needed? You have to put the gas in the car. But gas has nothing to do with your destination. But that is what you are created, how you are created. That's what you need. Put the gas and go and drive. But never attach your purpose to the car. Attach your purpose to the destination. It's very simple. I don't think it's complicated. But myself, forget it. Keep forgetting it. That's the purpose. Keep forgetting it. The main thing is to have the car, to have the car, to have the car. No, man. Yes, you have to have a car, but for what? For what? To go and reach the destination. That's it. It is just a vehicle, cannot be the purpose. So the Quran doesn't give us information about technical side of the car. What does it tell me? What's your destination? Why are you going there? What are you going to do when you reach there? Because your body is restricted with 60 years, 70 years, 80 years. But your emotions, your feelings, your spirit, your mind, your concerns goes endlessly, endlessly. You cannot stop it. You cannot stop it. It is endless potentiality. The potentiality is endless given to us. What am I going to do? To know the source of origin of existence of these senses, to get acquainted with it and affiliate yourself with it, not with your body. It is not worth it. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't look after and put the gas and oil and whatever, the water or whatever they need, the gas, to put it, but it's not your destination. Just put it, that's it. That's it. Put it and fill the tank and forget about it. Drive. But your aim is, where am I going? So that is the guidance we need. We need guidance to go where? If you need guidance to maintain your car, don't come to the Quran or the speech of the Creator. Go to the technician or mechanics. Go to the mechanics. Mechanics knows better than everybody else. And you don't need divine guidance for it. You can investigate and find it. Anybody can find it. So what is automatically ingrained in us, as far as the material side is concerned, is mechanical. You don't have to be trained, educated under the guidance of your God's word and speech. God doesn't speak twice. He speaks once. What does it mean? He enabled me, endowed me with the qualities to understand For example, if I hit you, no one says you did something right. In order to judge about the person, for example, in this court, if you go and hit somebody because they don't receive, the court doesn't act according to revelation, does it? It acts according to human-made legislation system, right? But if you hit somebody, what do they say? You don't have the right to do that. Where did you learn it? From the revelation? No, they don't recognize revelation. They are secular. It is already automatically written here. There is no need to tell. So read the Quran, which is automatically recorded in our own being for this purpose. Waste of time. One of the attributes of God is do not, the Creator doesn't do or create anything for nothing, in vain, which is called in Arabic, abas, for nothing. It is already there. Why do you say it again? But what is already there and needs to be discovered under the teaching, after the teaching, after being taught, human side needs to be discovered. Right? Do you follow that? Because you go to school and you are taught what you did not know. You need to learn. The Quran says, عَلَّمَ الْإِنسَانَ مَا لَمْ يَعْلَمْ. What you already don't know, God teaches you. Although this divine written revelation teaches you what you did not know. When you are hungry, you have to eat. Didn't you know that you have to eat? It is already in you. Why God should do twice?
Okay, so this part where you say speaks once, not twice.
What God speaks once, either in action-wise in creation, reveals it in creation, or in verbal explanation where it needed, when it is needed.
Yeah.
Right? God doesn't speak twice. So once. Do you see the difference at all? I'm being a little bit today weird here. Because you may see that what is going on to this man. Okay, but I think we should pay attention to that, this kind of things. Because the main struggle that we have to go through is to get rid of our cultural crust in our life. Make a pure religion. Make the religion belonging to God alone, not nothing else, the materialist culture. Right? These values of this society. I always express my fear that the future of the world will turn into humanitarianism. Have you heard of this before from me? The future of the world, if it goes like this, the future religion of the world will be humanitarianism. Humanitarianism is the product of materialist philosophy, materialist thinking. Humanitarian means take care of your body. Take care of your bodily need. Take care of your worldly needs. Forget about eternity. Right? Do you think that any humanitarian will tell you to satisfy your human expectations as far as your worry about the source of your existence and who brought you into existence? Do they tell you who brought you into existence? Yeah, but what we are doing here, if we say, look, we are going to do risale-i today, what do we understand? We are collecting money to give it to the poor. Humanitarian activity. Fundamentally, essentially, it's a humanitarian activity. You don't need any guidance. that you have to feed the poor. Do you need really? You are sitting in the car of the subway. You know that there is not drug addicted people, the professionals, forget about them. It's an economic problem of this society, forget about them. But there is a real needy man. You have to, and it is not common here, to share the food with others, because this is so much. We are under the influence of this materialistic values that if I drink some water from my bottle, you cannot share it with another. I cannot offer it. Why? People don't feel comfortable. It is the effect of the materialistic knowledge, isn't it? You cannot really share it. But in the uncorrupt societies, what they do, they share. Would you like some? Would you like some? Yeah, what were they? Don't you see that? In the uncorrupt civilizations, societies, they cannot eat in front of you. Do you notice that? Do you notice? Even in the uncorrupted societies, you go and buy something and you don't expose it to others. Not because you are being niggardly, but it may cause jealousy for others. So if you do something, but with these values, if you cook something that smells nice, what do? Next door neighbor, you can have some, because they know that, oh, it smells really nice. Share it. Where is it? But they get together to collect money to send to the people in, I don't know, somewhere, other way, 5,000 kilometers away. But when they fry the fish, and the next door neighbor, whether they have it or not, they don't share it. Your next door neighbor may be hungry. You take care of the people 5,000 miles away. There's something wrong. Why? The civilization is corrupt fundamentally. So we shouldn't really look at the Quran from this corrupt civilization's point of view. We shouldn't be under the influence of these values of the corrupt civilizations. But it is very unusual, I know, it is very difficult to accept. It is very, how to say, unconventional to look at the Quran like this. It is hard to swallow. It is hard to swallow. We have dealt with it. Right? Now, still now, again, that self-sufficient, also following verse is the preparation. This verse that we studied, verse 8, is the introduction to the following verse, which doesn't seem to be related. وَكَذَّبَ بِالْحُسْنَى, and calls the ultimate good a lie. What is it to do with it? Being niggardly, and of course this way here and doesn't mean plus. As a sequence of it, I was very excited last week to discuss this matter. It's a very subtle thing that we have to discover here. The ultimate good is denied. There's no ultimate good. What is it to do with it? If you think that you are self-sufficient, everything belongs to you, and if you think that whatever you earn, it is yours, you don't acknowledge anything wrong in your choice, in your life. You want to be self-sufficient, it means I'm perfect. What happens in practical life, it has something to do with psychology, okay? Be careful. In practical life, what we do, I am perfect, I'm self-sufficient, but everybody has some sort of problems, yeah, concerns, right? The responsibility-wise, I have many. I don't think. Do you think that I have no problem in my life? It is ridiculous, isn't it? There's no need to ask even. So everybody has some sort of problems. What do we do? I'm self-sufficient, but the problems, be careful here, are coming from outside. Because of weather, because of the weather conditions, because of my family background, because of my father, mother, or siblings treated me in this way. Because, outside. Go to a materialist, psychiatrist, yeah, psychotherapist. He will say, you say, I am under stress. Oh yeah, what? Understand, right? So come on, stay, but pay the bill first. Right? So don't forget that. It's a very important element. Okay. Can you please tell me your childhood stories and what you have inherited? What is he going to do with this?
Assign blame, assign association to those events.
Somebody else. Because of your such and such life conditions, you develop these negative attitudes. That's why you cannot control it now. And it is not your fault. You are self-sufficient. You understand the trick? Or, because the economic stress, because the political stress, because the effect of the society on you, because the expectations of your families that you cannot really fulfill what they want to be, what they want you to be. That is why I am under stress. Somebody else, outside. In fact, I'm perfect. Be careful here. Really, it's a very fine point. Everybody is prone to claim to be self-sufficient so that they will feel comfortable assuming that they are sinless. But you know what happened in the society? They are putting me under pressure. My mother treated me in this way. In front of me, my father and mother fought so that I was under the effect of this kind of things. And I have no free will to choose at all. Now I am under the influence of it, and I'm not responsible for anything else. It goes back, you know what? My father treated me in such a way that I developed this bad attitude, habits, right? And if I go to my father and mother, will say, my father, be careful here, trace the track carefully. My father will say, my father and mother treated me in this way. And that's why I behave badly. And that's why you are affected from my bad behavior. Right? No one is perfect. So what happens at the end? Fathers. The first guilty man is, Adam. He committed the sin. That is why we inherited all the sins from him. There's nothing wrong with me. Curse on Adam. That's why Allah got angry with him. Threw him out of the paradise and sent him to pain. He deserved it. Because it is the source of all evil. Isn't that the original sin? Why do you think we go into the original sin and let people buy it? Huh? Because I'm perfect. There is no good really in the world. Everything is worse because of Adam. All the good, it belongs to me. I'm trying to do my best.
Very interesting.
Yeah?
It's very interesting.
What is this? This is the blood of this secular society. That's why they really love original sin, the idea of original sin. Because you'd say it's Adam's fault, and I say, okay, the all hell is created for Adam. We are all in paradise. Because of his fault, he influenced his children. He's influenced his children, my father, and my father introduced me like this, father or mother. And that's why I have these psychological problems. I'm under depression. I'm perfect. What is the good way of getting out of all responsibilities? Yeah, that's why people love it. Love that it is original sin. Jesus has to suffer for it, but you know what? It's original sin. That Jesus suffered for the original sin. To relieve ourselves, redeem ourselves from the influence of Adam's sin. So Adam committed the sin. Jesus came to recover it by sacrificing himself. What is the logic? He did it. don't love that. Don't love. So this is the logic. So Adam did every bad thing. He was the worst man. He's going to hell. But Jesus came and saved it. Why? Why? Because he suffered at the cross, crucified. Excuse me? What's the relationship? He suffered for you. What? Who's Adam? Who's Jesus? Who are they? What is going on? Yeah? Adam is guilty, Jesus is pure. And then purity takes you to where? In fact, he is God's Spirit himself. Interpretation upon interpretation. If you really go astray, what happens? You get out of the path, you go into one danger, into another one, into another one. So the Trinity comes out as an explanation of all the theological problems, messing up everything completely unrelated. Think about it. What is it to do with Adam's sin and Jesus being crucified to suffer for your sin? In fact, not your sin, but Adam's. Yeah? Adam is the worst man. Jesus is the best man. Not man, really. Must be God. Or a part of God, or Spirit of God, a part of the Spirit of God, an aspect of the Spirit of God, interpretation upon interpretation, to fit the form and make a formula which works. Cannot make it. It is almost 2,000 years of history, not 2,000, let's say 300 later, 1,700 years of history, interpretation, not interpretation. Fixing it doesn't really match. Okay, your turn.
I know I'm giving you a hard time the last few days. I'm sorry.
You are or I am?
I feel like I'm commenting more than usual.
No. If you know what we are doing, yeah, but you should know. You have been here for how many years? Man, I met you 14, 15, no, 11 years old. Son, you have been in this atmosphere for 11 years. You have the right to speak now. Wait for 11 years. Yeah. Okay.
Is it fair or appropriate to be applying these interpretations upon others, right? So
no, I know that. Yeah, of course. But it is with us as well. It is with us. But if I say to myself, or to Qasim, let's say, or to, I don't know, Feriha, if you have any concern and any complaint, don't do that. It is wrong. It is with you. It is directly related to your own free will. Take care of it. She would say, he's a very harsh man, very tough man. He doesn't understand his human sensibility or right? But if I say, look, what the Christian theory, not the Christians, Christian theory does, it is outside, what is a mistake? Okay, put a mirror to it. you will see yourself in, ah, you see what I mean? Yeah, they say it's a traditional saying. Two things never tell lies: mirror and scales. They never tell lies. Whatever you put, they measure it perfectly. So mirrors, when you look at the mirror, you see exactly what you are. No one can tell you that. So these are the examples that function as a mirror to see yourself. So I'm not blaming anyone. Don't worry. Inshallah, inshallah. But good reminder. I don't say that the Christian people are better than Muslims. No reason at all. But theology-wise, one of them is consistent, the other one is inconsistent theology-wise.
So that let's go there, because couldn't there be a group like this happening at a church across the street?
Yeah.
Where they're redefining their theology, right? So we acknowledge here that what we're doing is distant from what we learn in Sunday school and everything else. And that
God forbid, from Sunday school education is horrible.
Right?
God forbid, yeah.
The outside world would view the Islamic theology as the stuff that's learned in Sunday school.
Yeah.
And we're saying, and we're trying to find something different. Similarly, can it not be the case that the Christian theology as traditional in the churches may be not representative of a group striving to find a connection to the Creator in the same way?
A group. No, they said a group. Yeah, a group in the church. A group in the church. Did I understand you?
Basically, this
yeah, but look,
no.
We are not looking at a person who says, I'm a Christian. It will be nonsense. We are looking at the core theology. And we are not talking, I cannot claim that I know Christian theology in depth, but outward depth of the Christian theology, inshallah, I claim I understand this, but I use simple language. That's something else. If I'm speaking to a Christian, I wouldn't speak in this way. Or not a Christian, the one who knows really Christian theology. Right? It is different. So how many times you heard of me saying, we don't talk about people?
Yeah.
No, but we said always Christian theology. We don't say Christians. If you really understand Islam by speaking that the Muslims, what will you end up with? Horrible. I will never be a Muslim by looking at the Muslim communities at all. I will run away from them. Really? I'm doing. I cannot stand. I cannot listening to ordinary khutbahs. Impossible. I just waste my time.
Can it then be possible that the Christian theology can be interpreted to point to the same reality that we are trying to
under the guiding criterion that we learn from the Quran? Yeah. When I was studying, I was never angry with Christians at all. I make no distinction between them. But with the guidance of the books are not with me, I can show you. All my studies of the whole Torah, the Hebrew Bible, are full of notes referring to the Quran and corrections. And my wife insisted on me that, why don't you write a book under the lens of the Quran, how to read the Bible? Because you should not learn anything. But that's not my way. I need to talk and develop my own idea. That's why I'm responsible for myself. And speak to people if anybody comes and are interested in. And I'm not a writer. That's something else. It needs academic organization or something. I hate it. I don't like it. Free thinking. Now, I am here. We are not criticizing Christianity at the level of Sunday school, right? But I know St. Augustine, for example, the father of Christian theology, defender of this theology, said, I can argue with St. Augustine. Not with the ordinary man. I say, you are my friend. Let's eat together. Let's come and have dinner together. Right? Dinner together. So it is, inshallah, not that simplistic. And we don't talk about people. We don't talk about, be careful, we don't talk about Muslims as well, Muslim population as well. What we talk about the general attitude of the Muslim community as contradictory to the teachings of the Quran. So we have to wake up. I'm not criticizing anybody, none of my business. None of my business. Okay, now, the one, this, it calls the ultimate good a lie means whatever Allah, the creator, but we have to accept this at this stage, all right? We are not talking that everything is created by God is good. But this, the first stage, we assume that we understood that. So everything is created is good, everything created by God is good, is the fundamental teaching of the Quran, right? And we have to understand that is it really good or not? What we do by disowning the bad choices by us, attributing it to other sources, others, what are we doing? We are denying the goodness in the creation of God. We don't realize that. We keep complaining that I am under depression, I have some depression problems, and you say unhappy. Whatever is created for you. That's why if someone has this attitude, which is described in the verse 8, now inevitably call the ultimate good a lie. We are blaming God, the creator, and just making ourselves, purifying ourselves, we are blameless. It was the mistake of some other creatures, not me. And of course, there's no goodness in creation. Do you see the connection? This verse, the Quran is clear, not but simple. Yeah, it's just simple. But why? Why do you think that we find to understand or to find understanding the Quran difficult? Why? Because of our prejudices, because of our cultural influences, which has no reality at all. You think we should go?
I have to go.
You have to go. All right, we can let you go, but we have to complete this. فَسَنُيَسِّرُهُ لِلْعُسْرَى. So if you deny the beauty in every sort of creation, there is a storm outside, beautiful. Can you say that? It's needed. We need that. We need to be reminded. There is an illness in almost every limb of my body. So it's good. It's a good reminder. Hey, get ready, man. Get your luggage. The journey is starting. You are now walking, but stop walking. We'll take you on a plane. Assalamu alaikum. I'm going. This is what I mean. Good. It's a reminder. But it doesn't mean that I shouldn't fill the car. All right? But at the same time, the creation of every event is good. If I deny it because of my wrong attitude, what happens? Do you think I will have a happy life by denying, by throwing the blame on Adam, throwing the responsibility on Jesus? Yeah, he has to take care of my sins. outside Jesus, well, it is not that simple, by the way. The second one is not simple. Original sin idea is original, yeah. But the second one, sacrifice for the sin of others, it doesn't mean that I will steal and Jesus, they know that. This is not the case. But to purify the dirt, the evil in the existence of mankind, which is inherited from Adam. So he sacrificed himself with his blood so that the human blood will be satisfied. What is the relationship? I don't see any relationship, but this is symbolically the solution for them. If you believe in Jesus, you are saved. Why? Because you join the purified spirit. You see what I mean? But these are external. Within yourself, you do nothing. Be careful. Be careful. You do yourself nothing. So if you blame outside world, what happens? You never solve your problem within yourself. And the trouble never will be cured. And we shall facilitate a difficult end for him. You will never get out of trouble unless you concentrate your own bad, wrong interpretation of existence. Do you understand the solution? It's wonderful. It is wonderful. It is wonderful. If you deny the goodness in the creation of everything, you will suffer eternally until you die. And the following life, which is very real. It is the automatic result of my own choice, and I will never feel peace in my existence. Why? This is mercy. Mercy of the Creator. You know, there is a story. So forget about the story. We don't have time for the story. Now, the disease is here, right? Let's say in lung, right? There's a problem in lung. And as a result of it, I'm coughing. If I keep taking cough syrup, stopping it, or pain taking, I don't feel it. Does it cure? Huh? You have to suffer. Still, your lungs have to suffer. Right? There's no cure, because if you don't go and really understand the source of the disease, where in your eye you interpreted the beautiful creation as bad, happened from our side, because the one who created that thing is responsible. It was God is responsible for it, not me. I'm perfect. Can you cure your problems? Impossible. Impossible. That's why, okay, it's a big claim, but secular psychology never cures any problem, because it doesn't go to the heart of the problem, which is our own interpretation of existence. We have to suffer. What do? They give you some pills, calm you down, don't let you feel it, but it is there. They know I give you a cure. I'm not seeing, I'm dealing with people who are suffering from it, from this kind of things, young people generally, especially in this age. And when I speak with them, I have to change your view of the world. They don't like it. Okay, if they don't like it, if they don't like it, because the responsibility is on you, not me, on you, not the creator, sorry. Not the creator, not your father, not the atmosphere, not the culture, not the civilization, not the society. No, no, no. You have to change your own. Concentrate on your own free will. How do I use it in order to get the best interpretation of what I am given? It's my responsibility. I have to interpret it. Why? Not as somebody else. So what they do, okay, because they are used to hearing, why, poor guy, did your mother treat you like this when you were like, yeah, were they really, or were you really bullied by your friends at school? Of course, the effect is still in your brain. You cannot get rid of it. So try to forgive them about my responsibility to interpret this event. Who doesn't go through this kind of education, training? Yeah. If you don't put the seed under the soil, if the seed doesn't really, what do you say, burst or in some sort of sprout. But in order to sprout, what he has to do, he has to dissolve, right? Go through this chemical, if you like, chemical reactions, so that the sprout comes out. Yeah. You have to go to the heart of the matter yourself. But is there anyone who has not received any hardship at all? They say one thing. But this is history. We cannot really verify it. But this is the symbolic history. Pharaoh did not suffer with any illness in its life. But what happened when the Moses came? It really suffered and died for it. This is what I mean. When the Quran says, for example, لم يكن الذين كفروا من الكتاب والمشركين منفكين حتى تأتيهم البينة. Yep. So they will spread when the bayina comes. The bayina means Quran, yeah? Everything makes everything mubin. It means bayan, mubin, the same word. It is clearly stated they unite to support each other in order to fight the truth. Because truth, they have to unite. Right? What the Pharaoh did? Egypt is my land. I am the Lord of this world. This is the description of the Quran, right? Carefully listen now. When Moses challenged him and he couldn't defend, even his helpers defend, what did he say? He is going to take over your country. Until now, you were saying it is my country. Do you see the trick? do you see it? You look a little bit puzzled. It is the narration of the Quran. Historically, it happened or not is not important. What is important? The message. You do the same thing. Unbelievers do the same thing. They say, I own this, I own this. When the truth comes and they are defeated, what do you say? Let's unite against this man. حتى تأتيهم البينة. Man, it's beautiful. It is the reality, the heart of the matters really analyzed in the Quran. One condition to understand, another condition to understand the Quran. Never think of it in terms of physically happened something in history. None of your business. Take the message, apply it to yourself. Apply it to yourself. So, go back to this verse. Go back to this verse. Calls the ultimate good a lie, those self-sufficient claim people that they are self-sufficient. Let's wrap up, don't worry, inshallah, not more than 5 minutes. Then they will deny the Ultimate good means husna. But the ultimate good, it means husna, the best good, if you like, if there is such a word in English. Yeah, husna, the best good. They deny it. When they deny it, as a result, they have to suffer for their denial, because God doesn't let you go astray, go out of your path. For example, if you are going here on the straight path, if you just get onto or get away off the path and go into the rough land, so what's that, ditches or something, what they do is, come here, come. They don't say, oh, it's good, carry on. No, the good people come and say that you are going into the wrong direction. That's why God says, shh, get out of it, get out of it, get out of it, get out of it. Right? So God always reminds that what you are doing wrong. He doesn't say, I forgive you. He forgives it. Forgives if you acknowledge it. But if you don't acknowledge it, he keeps reminding you, bringing back the same problem from another aspect, from another aspect, from another aspect, so that you will wake up, man, I'm doing something wrong. Right? And this carries on. وما يغني عنه ماله إذا تردى. Taradda means it goes down, deteriorate. It means really, I don't know who knows Arabic here. Radda means rejected. Okay. Your examination, your school period, 4 years, 6 years, whatever you are allowed to get the education. If you don't complete it, they say, okay, no more education, out of the school. So, and when you go out of the school, if you are not successful, your wealth, which you thought was yours, yeah. Mal means, I think we discussed this earlier on, not necessarily property or money or bank account or something, but your mal is what? Your human qualities, the real mal. Your human qualities, your way of thinking, reasoning, your emotions, your feelings, your intelligence, your human concerns. That is your property, given to you, actually. Malhum is whatever given to him. We know that it's created by God, but it is created by God in order to help me understand who I am, what I am doing in this world. It's a vehicle given to me. And all these human qualities will have no benefit to me when I am dismissed from the school. Yeah. You don't get the degree, you don't get, I don't know, whatever you get it, certificate, and okay, out of the school. But I had the intelligence, you didn't use it. No benefit anymore. You cannot use it again because you are out of school. It means death. It means school is what? We use this metaphor always. The universe is a school. We are students here, and we have an appointed time. Definitely we will go out of the school one day. Definitely, when I am taken out of the school, this kind of existence, all the properties, human properties, are given to me. I cannot say Quran is full, full of explanations, descriptions, saying that when they are taken into the result, let's say whatever they deserve, they say, if only we went back, if only we went back. After being expelled from the school. That's it. And if somebody has not really utilizes his new qualities, concentrate on his own responsibility, use your own free will, no one in the world had it without any problem. No one, even the prophet, had a lot of problems, even with his wives. You see what I mean? So he said, okay, I'm not going to with you. And he just ran away, or if you like, got away from his family for a month. No one spoke to them. Do you see what I mean? He had the problems as well. If you like, by definition, best man had lots of problems, lots of insultings from around. Who are we that we are complaining? What are we complaining about? What? What? What are we complaining about? What's wrong with you? What with me? What's missing? Right? Do you think the whole community is attacking you? No one is attacking you. You just go and enjoy your life. Yeah? Whatever you want to get, whatever you want. Whatever the fruit you want, eat in every season, you get it. What do you want? Huh? What do you want? Are you naked in the street? What do you want? So Muhammad, in his messengership, alayhi salatu wasalam, had all sorts of problems. Did he say that because of my father? Because of my mother? Mother, he gave me birth in Mecca among these terrible people. Did he say that? Because of the influence of somebody, I'm now being in this way. What are we doing, for God's sake? Is there any blame on others? What is it on the spot? On the contrary, this subject is, I was excited, everything, but this one is really, on the contrary, he said, I repent 70 times a day. What have you done, man? Yeah? Somebody said, let me complete this kind of beautiful things that we have to realize. The uneducated, ignorant people's prayer is the sin of the one who knows reality. Have you heard this? If the prophet prays like me, he will be ashamed of it. Do you understand at all? Does it make sense?
Prayer.
Yeah.
Uneducated.
In with
It's the
ignorant
sin of
people and imitators, following the culture. We are Muslims, we have to pray. This kind of stupid language. Yeah, and it will be a means of shame for the prophet to do the same thing. So we are proud of our prayers. They are ashamed of this kind of prayers. So the difference is this. And this man says, I ask for forgiveness 70 times. In Arabic, 70 means a lot. Yeah, 7 means, yeah, several. 70 means a lot. So many times, not 69 and after 70. No. A lot. So this man has done nothing, but he is asking for forgiveness for the things that we think we are doing good. This is the difference. That's why everybody asks for forgiveness at his own level. Right? So we understand that there is no one in the world which is not going on, who is not going through a training so that we will make distinction between right and wrong, right and wrong. Right? This is right, this is wrong. We have to wake up. Time is really late. Don't worry, my excitement, I'm getting old and I don't know how to stop speaking. These are beautiful realities. If you read the Quran according to your culture, you go nowhere. You think that I understood the Quran. But if you read the Quran according to the purposes of the Quran, yeah, according to the purposes of the Quran, you go the best way. Careful. Be careful. That's why we keep reminding that this course, this class is about methodology, not giving information. How to read the Quran. This is the exercise. How to read the Quran. It means, if you like, this is in Arabic usul class. Usul, it's methodology class. You know, for now, no one does usul. They get information. Long before, at least go back to 1,000 years back in the Islamic history, people never studied history or something. They used to study methodology, usul. Without usul, for example, usul al-fiqh, usul al-hadith, usul al-tafsir, usul al-kalam. If you don't know the usul, you cannot kalam. You cannot study kalam. You cannot study hadith. If you without usul, how can you study that? You read hadith, but you mess up everything. Without usul, methodology. Without having methodology, can you study? For example, I've never studied biology, right? I'm taking the biology book with me and trying to understand it. What do I understand? No foundation. I misunderstood everything. That's what we do. Do you think the Quran is simpler than the biology book? Quran is its own vocabulary, own concepts, own purposes, unique to itself. You cannot really liken it to any other Arabic text. Because when it says husna, it means the essential beauty in the creation of everything, including death, including calamities. But for us, husna means when I'm hungry, if I get a good job, if I get good money, if I get good food, and if I have a good wife and husband, this is husna. It is ridiculous. We have to see husna, beauty, in the worst thing that our ego doesn't like. You see that? Alhamdulillah, I'm very pleased that I had this whole conversation and revised my mind, refreshed my mind, my understanding. It is everything you hear here in this class will be contrary to your cultural religion. Wake up. If you are not ready for this, to challenge your culture, don't come. Really, I'm not, don't bother. You will be in trouble. But if you are open, come. Never miss. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعوانا. Okay, thank you very much. Oh, whatever. No, I missed it. I didn't stop. There you go. Assalamu alaikum. Sorry.